It's still doing this. I want to be sure I'm live before I say anything that you might like to hear. So as long as that's still moving. Okay, there we go. Yippee-ki-yo. Oh, goodness. Happy Friday to all of you. And I'm just going to talk here a minute about some fun, cool. I've had a really great week, and I'm going to talk to you about some cool things that I have coming up that you're going to be interested in. And yeah, it's been a great week. It's been a really productive week. Now, the first thing is that I am going to be introducing a new program in the very near future, and I will absolutely be in here talking about it a whole bunch to all of you who are on my mailing list and subscribers. You'll get that. Yeah, I'll be reaching out to you also. And hello, Katie, good to see you. Just hang out here a minute. I give it a few minutes for everybody to gather. And I'll just keep talking about that. But I do have an upcoming program, and it's going to be an ongoing thing that you can join anytime. But in this group, I will be offering you the opportunity to become founding members of this thing I'm creating, this new group. So details are coming on that. It's not ready yet. The program isn't ready yet. I'm waiting on tech things and copywriting stuff. I'm ready to go, but everybody else is not quite yet. So give us just a little bit. Now, the other thing that I want to tell you about is something that I have created. It's probably going to debut before the other program. Is that I have a program that I have created, and it is created, that will let you see angels. Because I do. And I have for a couple of years, a little more than that. And it wasn't a thing that was accidental. I wasn't born with it. It was a thing that I decided I wanted to do, and I talk about that in the video, and you'll get to see it in here. And it was a thing I decided I wanted to do, and so I sat down and planned it out and asked in some very specific ways, and it worked, and I think it'll work for all of you. Anyone who wants to do it. And this is a thing that is recorded. It's simple work that you'll do several times a day, that you'll get details. There'll be details on this. But that is probably going to be out in the next maybe 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to be out soon because the work for that and everything is already done. I don't have to wait for very much with that. It's simpler. So that's pretty cool. Okay, we've got a bunch now. So, okay. Katie, Tony, hello. David, hi. Sharita, hello, dear. Irma, good to see you again. Okay, great. All right. If you have not worked with me on here recently or ever, go ahead and, if you would, drop in the chat what you'd like some help with. Katie, you're on here first. I've worked with Tony. David, you're next up in order of appearance. Go ahead and drop in the chat what you'd like some help with. Sharita, you as well. Irma, I've done some work with you lately. We'll see what we've got time for. Genevieve, I think I'm saying that right. If I'm not saying that, sometimes it's Genevieve, but I believe for you it's Genevieve. So it's good to see you and have you here. If you would like some help this evening, drop it in the chat. Let me see how many that is. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. I don't know if I'll have time to do 5, but Ernest, welcome to the live. Go ahead and put in the chat, if you would. That may be as much time as I have. If you go ahead and drop in the chat. Oh, Irma says she's just here for the ambiance. Isn't the ambiance just pretty fabulous? I'm here for the ambiance too. I love it. Oh my gosh, the energy of this is wonderful. So Ernest, if you'd like some help, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Just drop it in the chat. And if I have time for that today, I'll be happy to do some work with that. So, all right, Katie is first up. Go ahead. If I called your name and asked for you to drop it in the chat, if you'd like some help, go ahead and put it in there, if you would. And I'll scroll here in just a little bit. Tony says, me too, Irma. Yes, I know. You're such a dear. Oh my gosh. Love you, Tony. All right. Because I'll scroll through these and take them one at a time. All right. Sinus headache, migraine, face pain. Okay, Katie. Do you have all of these things going on right now this minute? And if they're not all going on right now this minute, tell me which it is. And I want you to get quiet, close your eyes, and give that pain a number. So Katie, let us know, drop in the chat, which of those things it is. Hello, Marissa. Good to see you here. All right, David wants help with procrastination. I've actually got a good video for that. Okay. All right, we're waiting for Katie to put that in here. And we can do some procrastination tapping. Oh, Ernest. Yes, indeed. That lower back and finance. Yeah, that's lower back pain is almost always related to a fear having to do with money. Almost always. A small percentage of the people, can be added, hurtful relationship of some sort. Not necessarily a personal one, but yeah, that's absolutely where that shows up. Been there. All right. Oh, a 9? Gosh, Katie. Okay, let's see. All right, Katie. Okay, sweetie, I'm sorry it's a 9. That's high. Okay, sweetie. All right, I want you to close your eyes. And everybody do this with us. Lend your energy to this, please. I want you doing this along with us for Katie and for yourself. If you're just watching this, either live or in recording, please do this work with us. There's no difference in the energy, recorded or live. So Katie, close your eyes, take a big breath in through your nose, hold it, and blow it out. All right, now, Katie, I want you to use your imagination. And I'm going to look at this with you because I can. I want you to move into that area of your body, into your sinuses, because that's what's going on here. Move into that area and use your imagination. If you can't see anything, imagine what it might look like in there. First thing you see is going to be right. First thing that comes to mind is going to be right. I want you to look and see if it's a color or a texture in there. And I'm looking, this is really, really messy. It's a red, black, it almost looks like a mass of coils or snakes in there. They're moving. It's not scary snakes, but it's kind of almost like it's moving a little bit. And it and you are angry, really angry. All right, Katie, ask that area to show you how it would look if it was perfectly okay and there was no pain. Ask it to show you a picture of it or what color it would be. First thing that comes to mind is going to be right. All right. Now, tell it we're going to give it some help right now. And take a breath and blow it out and open your eyes. Okay. All right, Katie. I'm not going to wait for you to drop. You can drop in the chat what it said it needs to feel better quickly. And I know there's a little bit of time. I'm going to stay on here for a while this evening. So, yeah. Katie, please drop in the chat. Okay, she says face pain is the worst. I think it's sinus and migraine symptoms are making it worse. Yes, I think so too. Okay. All right. And I'm just kind of scrolling here. Ernest, I think we'll get to yours tonight because I get a kick out of working with that. But Ernest was the cutoff. Sarah, I see you asking in here, but I've already cut that off. I can't stay here all evening. So, we're 20 minutes into the call already. And yeah. Okay, so let's see what we've got in here. Katie, can you put in it's green. Okay. You and I may not be seeing the same thing. What's it need to feel better though? What does it need to feel better? You know what, for time's sake, let's just work with this because it is let's just start because I can feel that all over in my face. Whew. Okay, let's just start here, Katie. I have all this pain in my sinuses and it's in my face. But I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I've got all this pain in my face and my sinuses, and I have a migraine to boot, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I've got all this pain, it's a 9. I choose to be okay anyway. Because I completely love and accept myself. And I'm going to honor the things that this pain may be trying to tell me. I've had some anger for a long time. It's been around a while. And because I didn't know what to do with it or how to express it, I hung on to it. I may have even had this anger from childhood. There's a lot of irritation in it. I allow myself to be open to the possibility that I can let go of some of this. Because it didn't feel safe to express it. And maybe I don't need to express it. Maybe I can just let it go. Because I've got pain and irritation now. I've pushed myself. And other people have pushed me too. And I feel pressured from a lot of different directions. And I don't like feeling pressured. I don't really like feeling pressured. I hate it, even when it's pressure by me. So I'm going to give myself permission to let go of that. This anger isn't hurting any of the people I was angry at, but it is hurting me. I don't need to hold on to it anymore. It's just like me drinking poison and hoping it's going to make them croak. Doesn't work that way. I allow myself to let go of all the sinus pain. This irritation doesn't agree with me, and I'm going to let it go now. It's safe for me to feel better if I agree to look at the things that I'm upset over and keep tapping on my own to work through them. And I agree to do that now. So it's safe to let go of this pain because I completely love and accept myself. Hold your wrist points, breathe. Peace. Okay, take a breath. All right. Now, Katie, I want you to check in with that and let me know if your number changed. That's, just let us know if your number changed because you started at a 9, and drop it in the chat. And I'm going to move into looking at the next thing. Okay, let's see here. Next up is David. Okay. All right. David, you're next up, and then Genevieve, and then Ernest. All right, so Katie, drop in the chat. If your number changed, let us know what it is, and we'll kind of keep moving. All right, so in that order, that's what we're going to do now. So David, you're up. Gosh, I keep having to scroll back and forth. Lots of people in the chat. Oh my goodness, okay. Okay, let's just move along here. All right, David, so here we are. For procrastination. I'm just kind of getting in touch with it for just a moment here for you, David, and with you. Since this isn't physically painful, it's not really measurable. We're going to tap a little bit. I don't need to go in and look at it. Oh, I think maybe you got this from one or both your parents. Okay. I mean, it kind of, that sort of thing, you learn that. Okay. Let's just tap a little bit here. David, for David. Oh, I love to procrastinate. And then I hate myself over it. But I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I love to procrastinate, I just put stuff off. I've been that way a long time. I completely love and accept myself. And I'm open to shifting my perspective on why I might be doing that. Because I completely love and accept myself. I allow myself to begin to understand that one of the big reasons that I may be procrastinating is that something about the actions that I think I want to take, something about that scares me a little bit. And when that happens, it doesn't feel safe to me. So I allow myself to relax and to understand that the things I'm putting off are simply triggering a little response of fear in my brain. I'm not putting off doing dangerous things. I have a view of you skydiving. I'm not putting off going skydiving without a parachute. I'm putting off ordinary things that everybody does. But there are things about moving forward in life that scare me. And I give myself permission to relax and to know that I can say yes or say no to these things as I want, but that it's safe to let go of the fear I have around these things, because life belongs to me, and I'm just fine the way I am. It's safe for me to let go of procrastinating about everything, because I completely love and accept myself. Peace. Okay, David. I think, let us know, drop in the chat if that made you feel a little calmer about procrastination, because that's the thing. And I've done it. I've procrastinated about stuff, and it's always because there is somewhere in the back of our mind, there's something that makes us uncomfortable about this move that we're going to take. It's just a little bit of a fear response. It's simply a brain thing. I'm not procrastinating going and doing anything dangerous, and neither are you. But everyday normal things, we put it off until the last minute. I don't really do that much anymore. I've kind of worked through that. So, okay, that was good. I may have time for more stuff tonight. All right. I want to see. I've got to scroll here. Just give me a second here. I want to scroll. David says, I like that. Thank you. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, Katie says, no change in the pain, although I feel peaceful. Okay, Katie, I want you to stay on this call all the way to the end, if you can. And I want you to tap through all of this work with all of us. And at the end, we're going to do a little bit of scalar energy stuff, which I did do, I think, in the last live. And I want you to especially stay on this call or come back to it and do it later, because I think you may see your pain level move as we move through this. So I'm glad you're feeling peaceful. That's better. Okay, Sharita, I will not forget about you. I'm sorry you're having this issue again. Okay, let's see here. What have we got? let's see here. So that, all right, Sharita. Okay, Sharita, you're next up. All right, Sharita, and the back pain is at an 8. Okay. And I'm just looking through I'm just scrolling through the chat here. Daleen Seagal, she says restless legs. I'm not going to have time to do that tonight, but I have a really good video for restless leg pain and restless leg. You should go, stay and tap with us for sure tonight, but also go do that video. I think you'll get some relief from that. And let's see here what else we've got. Okay. Hello, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Okay, Sharita. All right, I want you to take a big breath into your nose, hold it, and blow it out. And move into that area where you've got the pain. And I know a bit about this from you because you and I have actually had a conversation about this. But I want you to look and see what's there. Look at it and see. Ask it what the one thing that it needs to let go of to feel better. What does it need to let go of to feel better? Because when we have constipation, that is not allowing things to move, stopping the flow. What one thing? First thing that comes to mind is going to be right for you. Okay, I want you to take a big breath, blow it out, and open your eyes. Okay. Okay. All right, everybody tap. This is for Sharita, lower back pain. Constipation too, but let's work with the pain a little bit here. I've got all this pain in my lower back. It's an 8. And it may be because I'm constipated. But it could also be because I have some really awful relationships. At least one in my life. And at least one really awful relationship was all wrapped up around money. But I'm open to letting go of this now. Because I do completely love and accept myself. And I love my back. Okay, top of the head. My back has supported me really well through my life. It's supporting me still. But I've had a really, really hurtful, bad relationship. Things went really wrong. And there were some things related to money in it. But I choose to be okay anyway, because I'm still here. Even though I think I can't forgive this person. And maybe that person doesn't deserve forgiveness. I deserve it. I deserve to have forgiveness in my life. Because I deserve to be free of this. All this old fear, all this old hurt. It's safe to let it go. I have a lot of anger about it. Because some bad stuff happened. A lot of hurt and a lot of anger. But those things aren't serving me. In fact, the person I'm angry at doesn't really care. So I'm only hurting myself by holding on to this old stuff. And I'm constipated and my back hurts. It's safe for me to let go of all of this old hurt. It's safe for me to let go of the old anger because it is blocking the flow of a lot of good things in my life. I give myself permission to understand that I deserve to have the flow of good things in my life. All I have to do is let go of the anger and enter into forgiveness. And I even forgive myself for being angry. I didn't mean to hurt myself. It's safe to let go of all this old stuff I'm carrying around. It's given me all this pain. I'm safe in my body and in the world. And I do completely love and accept myself. Peace. Okay, good. Okay. All right, Sharita, if you would move around and you were at an 8 before we worked, let us know. Drop in the chat. Whoops. Just a minute here. Tony says I've frozen mid-sentence, but it does not appear to be frozen to me, so I'm going to keep going. The chat is still, yeah, my chat's still working. Sharita, drop your number, what you've got now. Let's see if your number changed, if your number dropped. Go ahead and drop that in the chat. And next up is Katie. Katie, how are you doing? Check in with that pain level again. Is your pain level the same? I kind of want you to check in a couple times as we go through this work this evening. Okay, and I'm gonna wait for Sharita to drop that in the chat. and kind of look through here because there's a lot. Okay. All right. And Sarah, we might have time for that. Peripheral neuropathy. What? I'm just trying to look at everything that's in here. There's a bunch. Ernest, that last tapping might have helped your back too, my dear. It's possible. All right, let's see. I'm trying to read through some of this. Something about asking all the time. So I don't know what that is. Okay. Let's see here. Sharita. Okay, somebody was here and is leaving. I don't know what we've got here. Okay. Okay, let's see here. I hope I'm unfrozen. Yeah, I'm unfrozen. Okay. All right, Sharita, you went from an 8 to a 6, which is a respectable amount of drop in your pain level for just a few minutes. I cannot be very specific about what I'm seeing going on in there without, this is kind of a public place to work with this. So we're kind of doing our best here tonight, but that's a good drop. Stick around. Oh gosh, stick around and keep tapping because we're going to do some more lower back tapping with Ernest, who said he was at a 9 and it dropped to an 8 from this tapping that we just did. Okay. All right, Ernest, my dear, you are up. So everybody keep tapping. And if we've worked, I want you to keep checking in and dropping it in the chat. So I can have a good overall idea of where we are with this. Because a lot of times people's things will get better and better throughout the evening as we work. All right, Ernest, you are on board here. Get a drink. Drink some water here. And when people ask in the chat, like I said, I've got a good video for procrastination. And also, David, I'm thinking about this. You also want to do the video for clutter. And I can't remember exactly what it's called, but just type in Sharon Smith clutter or Sharon Smith tapping and clutter. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll see it, because when you accumulate, and I think you've got this, when you accumulate clutter is postponed decisions. Sound familiar? You're going to love that. That's great work. All right. And Dale, hey Dale, good to see you. Do you have videos for edema? I do not. There is no one specific thing that is underneath edema, and it can be anywhere in the body. Edema, for instance, in your legs isn't going to be the same thing as overall edema or edema in your face. So no. And I'm just going to talk a second about this because there are some things that all of you probably do not understand about the process of making videos for YouTube. I have to really be very aware of staying in my lane. I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. I do not want to go in and tap and do work for instance, abdominal pain, because it might help someone and keep them from seeking appropriate medical care. That's not what I'm here for. I'm very conscious about that when I'm creating new work. Okay. My first priority is to do no harm. And I don't want to run afoul of the FDA in the United States. I don't want to claim to be practicing or be accused of practicing medicine without a license. So those are things that I have to think about on a pretty regular basis when I'm creating new work. So edema is probably not something that I'm going to work with in a public video on YouTube. Can I work with edema for you personally, privately? Yeah, of course. We might even look at it here. Let's see how much time I've got left, because I don't know. I don't have a lot up here. But, and Ernest, I'm sorry I had to stop and talk for a minute. It happens. When David says, okay, I'll do that. Uh-oh. Oh, yes. You got a little clutter going on, dear. I know that. All right, Ernest, I want you to close your eyes and take a big breath in through your nose. Hold it and blow it out. And just relax. Ooh, relax your shoulders. Your shoulders are tight. My shoulders are tight from it too. Now I want you to go look at your lower back. Just gently. Use your imagination. You're the one who lives there in that body with your back, and you won't be wrong. And just gently look at your lower back. Oh gosh. And I'll just tell you, while I'm looking at it, L4 and L5 are just glowing orange. They look really orange to me. They may look different to you. And there's a lot of fear in there. This really looks like a family pattern. I'm just going to talk about this a moment while you keep looking at that area of your back. I don't know whether you grew up with or without much money, but it looks to me like this is a family pattern that you got probably from both of your parents. And we do. We get fear patterns. They didn't mean to do that, but they pass those things on to us. And this has gone on. This goes back a few generations for you guys. Okay, I'm seeing an interesting thing in there, and we're going to talk about that when we tap. All right, I want you to ask your lower back, just ask, what is the one thing that it needs to help it feel better? What is the one, and it can't be money, the one emotional thing that it needs to help it feel better. It may be a single word, it may show you a picture. What does it need? What does it need? What does it need to let go of, or what does it need us to give it? First thing that comes to mind. Now, tell that area of your back that we're going to give it some help. And take a breath. And blow it out. Okay. All right, Ernest, if you would, drop in the chat real quick before we tap. I know you've gone from a 9 to an 8 because you tapped for Sharita because she had some back pain. Drop in the chat what your back needs to feel better. What thing does it need to feel better? What emotional thing did it tell you or show you? What does it need to feel better? And we know that this is a money issue, but there's also another thing in there. And when we don't have a good relationship with money, that can be miserable. And the lower back pain, I think my chat's scrolling. Let me see if I can put a comment in there. Oh, it needs love. Okay, good. All right, well, let's do that. Okay, everybody tap. Everybody tap. With Ernest, for Ernest. I've got all this pain in my lower back. I'm really miserable. It's a little better, but it's still an 8, and that's a lot of pain. But I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I've got all this pain. It's in lumbar 4 and 5, and they hurt. I completely love and accept myself. And I'm open to letting go of this pain. Because I do completely love and accept myself. And I love my back. I'm not just worried about money. I am actually also terrified about it. Because somewhere in my history, I had an ancestor starve to death. And I'm carrying that energy around with me. And I'm terrified. And all this fear that I'm carrying, some of it's mine, but some of it doesn't even belong to me. Some of this fear I inherited. And I give myself permission to understand that me carrying all this fear that didn't belong to me does not help anyone. Doesn't help those other people. And it sure doesn't help me. So I choose to let go of all that fear right now. Because those people didn't intend for me to inherit this. And they don't wish me any harm, and they don't want me to be in pain. So it's safe to let go of all of that now. Okay, just take a big breath and blow it out. We're going to do just a little bit more for that here in a second, but Ernest, I want you to move and tell me what your number is right now, and then we're gonna do just a little bit more tapping, a minute or two more. Tell me what your number is now after turning loose of the fear that actually didn't even belong to you. We do that. We carry around other people's stuff all the time. Drop in the chat real quick, Ernest, because we're not done yet. I want to know what your number is now, because you've gone from a 9 to an 8. What is your back at right this minute? Okay, there we go. Clear measurable result. Okay, now Ernest says it's a 5. Now that he's gone from a 9 to an 8 to a 5, and we haven't been at this very long. Okay. Back pain is the thing that launched me on my career, my dear. Okay, so, he says now it's like at a 4. Great. So you have had more than a 50% reduction in pain in just a few minutes. So let's go back to the top of the head. I'm really worried about money. It feels good to let go of all that fear I had that didn't belong to me. but I'm still kind of worried about money. But I give myself permission to understand that this is just fear. And I won't die of fear. It's a brain response that I'm having to some stimulus. And it doesn't have anything to do with an actual survival fear. I'm not in danger of not being able to survive. But my brain doesn't know the difference. So when I get worried about money and trigger that little fear, my brain immediately begins sending out the message to produce more cortisol, which keeps me in a state of overdrive, overactivity. And it doesn't have to do really with money. Money is just the vehicle to bring up what I need to clear, which is fear. I give myself permission to understand that money is energy, and that if I clear up my fear around money, my energy will change. It's changing right now. It's safe to let go of the pain now that I see what it is. And I allow my spine to be filled with loving support. And I accept loving support. It's safe to accept loving support because I love and accept myself and my back. Wrist points. Peace. Okay. That rambled around a little bit because that looked like it was moving around a little bit to me. Okay, so, Ernest, drop in the chat what your number is now, because you went from a 9 to an 8 to a 4 to a 5 to a 4. What is it now? Move around, really give that a number. And Sharita says fear of taxes. Well, yeah. I mean, nobody likes taxes, but I don't think anybody dies of taxes. So just, yeah. Okay, and Dale says, oh, that was powerful, particularly the link to the ancestors. Yeah, this was I very clearly, and I don't know why. Ernest, hey, let me know, did you have a relative that you know of that starved to death? I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are in the world. Is that a real thing that I'm seeing there? Is that somebody that, I mean, is that something you know something about? Because that was an interesting thing. Okay, he says it's a 3 now, still slight. Okay, that was just an interesting thing to see because I saw that instantly and very clearly, very clearly. And Sharita says not enough money. Yeah, well. Now we're kind of dealing around. I'm going to stop and talk here for just a minute. I got some time. I'm going to keep working here for a little bit. Everybody just take a breath and calm down. Genevieve, you're next. You're next up with vision. But I do want to talk to you for just a minute here because I'm getting more and more requests to work with money. And that's really, I mean, that's really, money tapping is kind of not my thing. I mean, money is an energy. We can do a little bit of it as it relates to pain. If you are chronically having the money stuff, I can honestly and wholeheartedly recommend some programs to you. If what you want is tapping work, then the person you want to go and whose work you want to do is a woman named Margaret Lynch, Lynca. Oh, shit. Pardon my French. Her last name isn't Lynch anymore. She got married a couple of Ranieri, Margaret Lynch Ranieri, Raniere, I believe. And she is, I believe, the best in the business if you want to do money tapping. The Ortners have a money program too. I consider it continuing education. And I buy a lot of other people's work. I don't call them up and say, hey, would you give me this for free? I just go in and I buy it. And I do it and work with it because it's continuing education for me. I learn a lot from it every time I do it. And I don't have a bunch of money worries, but I have had money issues before, which brings me to I have a money coach. She's not an EFT professional. I have a money coach named Melissa Ternus, Ternes. And she has a new program. God, I should have talked to you guys about this. I'll drop her stuff in here because her work is incredibly deep and powerful. She's pointed out some things to me that I totally missed that were big. She calls them profit blockers. I didn't know I was going to talk about Melissa in here. I didn't tell her. Anyway, she has a new program starting, I think maybe even next week, and it's a great program. And I know her work is fabulous because, as I said, she is my money coach. She is my go-to money person. So, and her work isn't free. You got to go, yeah. She works for pay. I work for pay too, actually. Oh, and I should also say, if you've got a whole bunch of stuff going on and a little bit of tapping here and there, work with my videos on YouTube. Get in here and work with the live replays. Get in here and let's do some live tapping if we can for what you have going on. I'm here to help. I do work privately. Some of you may be interested in doing that. I will, when I finish with this video and put what we worked with in here, I will put the link for that in there because I do work privately. I do not do single sessions. You cannot click and pay. I don't take everyone on as a private client. There's a process. It's not real detailed, but you have a form to fill out, and then we have to have a chat about the work. And yeah, so there's a process with that. Now, I talked about that at the very first of this video. I am getting ready to introduce a new, exciting, fun, and very accessible way to work with me. I'm going to have a group program. And it can be as big as it wants to be. And we will meet on Zoom, not here on Facebook Live, because I want to see you guys. And that program is coming. I will be announcing it here. It's not ready yet. I'm waiting for a bunch of stuff to get done. But that is coming. And some of you will want to be in that. Many of you, I think, may want to be in that. It's going to be a cool thing. I'm super excited about it. All right. So I've rambled a little bit there. All right, Genevieve. I got to scroll back up here. Sorry. Let's see here. Genevieve. Okay, and somebody was in here asking, Sarah was in here asking for actual neuron help. Some of that, there are some limits to what I can do in here. Oh, and she said she's off the call. Okay, never mind. All right, moving back up. Genevieve. Okay, my dear. Everybody stick around here. We're going to do something at the end of this that we did in the last live. I want to do this with all of you again. Katie, how are you doing? How's your pain level? I don't know that we've done any tapping that may change that, but let us know. Please drop it in the chat. You started out at a 9, and I can still feel that here. It almost feels like heat. All right, Sharita, drop in the chat. Let me know if your back pain changed from that, because that was a good bunch of tapping. Oh, Irma. Irma says, I thought you were going to say you're super exciting, which you are. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for the nice compliment. I don't know if I'm exciting or not, but I'm having a good time, and I love doing this with all of you. Good night, Tony. Sweet dreams. I'm sorry, it's an internet connection thing there. Let me check my internet connection before I move on. Okay, we're good. Okay, Genevieve, you are next up. Hey, would you just drop quick, just hit the chat and say yes, or if you're still here, I want to make sure if we're going to do some tapping and look at this that you're still actually on the call. So Genevieve, you're next up. Drop it in there. Sharita, drop in the chat. What's your pain level now? Because we just tapped for some stuff that may have had, you may have, there may be some crossover for you in that. So that's good. And well done, Ernest. That was a great bunch of tapping. We carry stuff. Our parents don't intend for us to inherit icky stuff from them, but sometimes we do. We get good stuff from them too, and they did their best, and a lot of times here we are carrying around, people say, oh, back pain runs in my family. Well, not really. From my perspective, what runs in your family is a money fear or hurtful relationship, ongoing thing, or both. That's what's running in your family, that need to have that thing going on. So pain is here to get our attention, to look at emotional stuff. Always, 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 always. So I think my chat is working. Genevieve, are you here? If you're here, we want to do some tapping for you in your eyes. But you got to let me know you're still here in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to move to the next one. Let's see here. Okay, we did Katie. We did. Sorry, I'm scrolling up and down, and I'm wondering if my chat has stopped here. I'm going to put OK in there. Let me see if this is turning up. Okay. I don't know. Okay, I see what's there. Because you wrote about this just a little bit. Let's tap a minute. Let's just tap a couple minutes on this for eyesight and being 56. Whether you're still on here on the live or not, I know what to say with this because I'm looking at it. And everybody else, Sharita, measure your back pain and put it in the chat, please. I like to show clear, measurable results. Katie, if you're still on the call, I hope you are, please put in the chat if your pain level, if you're feeling any better from this. All right, and Genevieve, let's just tap. This is a good thing to tap about because if we're lucky, we are all going to get older. If we're lucky. And Genevieve said, for me, it was eyesight and being 56. Now, that is almost a decade younger than I am because in not very many weeks, I'm going to be 65. And I don't wear glasses. And I do a series of things. I have a really great video for eyesight, for vision. But I want to, and that one would be good for you to do. Also do the one, we're going to tap here just a minute. Also do the one for loving your body just the way it is. Loving your body just the way it is. Because that is an important thing as we age. We tend, at any age we can not love our bodies, been there, but especially as women in this culture, there's a lot of pressure to be looking one specific way. And we are really unkind to us as we age. I don't listen to much of it anymore. I just want to look and feel my best at whatever age I am. So, tapping. For me, it's my eyesight. And it's because I turned 56. And that number was like a line drawn in the sand by my mother. But I choose to be okay anyway, because I completely love and accept myself. And I love my eyes. I've had pretty good eyesight my whole life. But when I turned 56, I started getting a lot of weird pressure from other people that maybe I needed glasses. And there was a part of me that thought those people might be right. Because a lot of those people were people I loved and trusted. And a little part of me thought they might be right. I give myself permission to understand that being 56 does not keep me from seeing clearly. Neither does being 57 or 40. As long as I do the things to keep my eyes clear. I wonder if it's possible that it's really hard to see myself grow older. And I allow myself to relax about that. It's safe for me to see clearly at every age. It's safe for me to allow my eyes to relax. It's safe for me to stop worrying so much about what other people think, about everything. And why do I care about that so much anyway? I allow myself to let go of any need to make them do anything any different. And I release the need to have them tell me I need glasses. Because I completely love and accept myself. Boy, some parts of that really felt good to me. And my eyes have been fine. So I don't know if Genevieve was still on the call or not, but if you're watching this in replay, please drop in the chat later on, leave me a comment below this and let me know how that landed for you, because I think that was a really good piece of work for you. All right. I think that is everybody who stayed on the call. Okay, Sharita, what's your number? Ernest, let me know. Oh, never mind. We're going to do this last bit of work. I've got the hiccups here. Whew. Okay, we did this a week ago. or the last live I did, which was, I have another live coming up next Friday, same time, a week from today. So any of you that I didn't get a chance to get to today, Sarah, I know you're off the call. Be on time for the next one and ask. And, I haven't done anything with you here in this live. So, yeah, I'll be happy to do that. Just get in there quickly and ask. And I'm just thinking a second here. I feel like my chat isn't scrolling. Okay. As I said, we did this the last live. And I'm going to tell you again how this came about, because we're going to use our own hands. We are powerful beings, creators, and eternal, whether we like to think about that or not. And I saw a guy talking about scalar energy, which you can look it up online if you want. It is a free-floating energy that we don't really know much about. But he was selling devices that basically round that up and kind of harness it and focus it and create what they call a 0-point field. And what that is an area, a field, if you will, of zero tension. No tension. No push, no pull, no tension. And that allows your cells to relax. That allows your energetic being to relax and to recover quickly. So, and I can't remember why but when I was listening to that, I thought, that's interesting. I don't know why we'd need a piece of equipment to do that, because humans are way cooler than what we think most of the time. So let's just try it. All right, so I want you to do this. You can come back and do this again, and if you want, you can put your hands over whatever part of your body is uncomfortable, but the first time or two you do it, I want you to have your hands out beside your head. And Katie, I hope you're still on the call, or do this in replay. I want you to do this. Put your hands out beside your head. I want you to close your eyes and everybody take a big breath. Hold it and blow it out. Okay, now I'm just going to talk us through this. You can just repeat after me. I allow myself to use the energy of my body and the unlimited energy of the power of the universe, which contains scalar energy. I choose to harness this energy lightly and loosely and allow it to flow between my two hands for my highest and greatest good, to create a 0-point field, to allow my brain and cells and thoughts to relax with no tension whatsoever. Now, I am profoundly grateful for the ability to access this energy. Now just leave your hands there and let's just take a few breaths. And if you get a good visual of that, you can see energy flowing back and forth between your hands. It may look like a circle. Whatever you see or nothing is just fine. You don't have to see anything. Just know that you're creating this field of relaxation, complete lack of tension. Take one more breath. Okay, good. Now just appreciate the energy and go ahead and take a breath and open your eyes. And you can relax your hands and arms. Okay. All right. Now, before we close, I want everybody in here who came in with a pain level, if you would please, if you're still here on the call, drop your number, what it is right now at the end of this. Drop your number in the chat if you would. So that would be Sharita, certainly Katie, and also Ernest. Drop your numbers in the chat, in the live, if you would please. Because I do like to demonstrate clear, measurable results in these lives for people. And please know that when you put that in the chat, somebody else who comes and watches this live will be encouraged, and it'll give them hope because they'll see your numbers changing and moving and see that you're getting some results. So drop your numbers in the chat here. Let me know how you're doing. I'm not sure my chat is still scrolling. If it's not, even after the live ends, please go ahead and put your numbers in the chat so we've got them. Because I'll put the drops in those when I put the copy with this later on, if you would. That may not be scrolling anymore. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Thank you so much for coming and doing this work with me. I am profoundly grateful for all of you. Doing this work with you is one of the great joys of my life. I love it. I love what I do. I have the best job in the world. And I will see you again really soon. Mwah.